How's it going? How's it going? Yeah, it's a Thursday, 8 o'clock. This is going to be a mini. It's a small one because I don't know if it's going to work, and I didn't pre-promote it. I didn't tell really a lot of people that I was going to do a Bourbcast tonight. So I thought we'd just do this on the down low and see how many people check it out and see if Thursday at 8 o'clock works for everybody. I had a suggestion the other day from somebody that I went on a bit of a bourbon, hunt with. And he suggested that maybe we do it Thursday at 8 because more people are going to be home. And potentially, I mean, everybody's home all the time right now, but in the future, more people will be home, and perhaps people will be looking for suggestions as they go into their weekend, what they may want to drink. So we're going to do just a little mini one. It's going to be a lot shorter than we normally do. And because it's a mini one, we're going to do a mini whiskey. It's just a little guy. This is Bird Dog blended whiskey. Now, they've got bourbons too, but this is a blended whiskey. It's a part corn, part rye. This is not rising to the level of a bourbon. That means it does not have to have 51% corn, and it doesn't have to be aged the same way that bourbon does or anything like that. It's a blended whiskey. So it is what it is. I've seen this on the shelf. It's not very expensive, but I thought, I'd like to at least try it and see what I think of it. And I've seen people say that they like it, and I've seen people say that it's trash. But that's the thing. My wife likes broccoli, and I think it's revolting. So yeah, different strokes for different folks, I guess. So let's go ahead and get this one open. I'm kind of excited about it a little bit because it's made in Bardstown Distillery, which is in Lexington, Kentucky. And it's the same place where they make one of my favorite bourbons, Calumet Farms. Now, I've got Calumet Farms, I've got the Calumet Farms 10, and I've got the Calumet Farms 12. The 12 is the only one I've had, and it's fantastic. This one, it's only 80 proof. I'm not expecting a lot, but I think I ought to give it a shot. Official glass of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. Let it sit for a couple of minutes before we get too far into it. Now, I am going to do it over ice, just like I normally do. We're going to give it the full treatment. But I wanted to give a mini Bourbcast to a mini bottle. If you haven't tried doing these mini bottles, it's kind of funny. You normally see this size bottle like on an airline or something like that. But most whiskey stores, liquor shops, will sell these, especially the bigger ones. You go to Kentucky, and every liquor store has got a whole bunch of these for sale, some of them more than others. We were at Bluegrass liquor sales in north of Alexandria just a couple of days ago, and they've got tons of these. The Party Source in Bellevue, Kentucky, it's got tons of these, racks and racks and all sorts of them, and not just bourbon, rums and gins and vodkas and flavored things. They had peach whiskey, and they had raspberry whiskey, and they had, oh my gosh, just all sorts of different things. Really huge selection of these little guys. Some stuff you'd want to mix, like maybe a Beefeater's gin. Some of the stuff you could drink neat, just like a Bombay Sapphire, which is one of my favorite gins. So I thought I'd pick this up and give it a shot. You'd be surprised what you can see. If you can't find Buffalo Trace anywhere, you might find a Buffalo Trace mini somewhere. They're really expensive for what you get. It's kind of silly expensive for what you get, but it's, if you can't go to a bourbon bar, then maybe you can find one of these and at least taste the ones that you're curious about. I've been curious about Bird Dog. I've been wanting to try it. I don't want to spend a lot of money on it in case it's something that I'm wanting to dump down a drain. But I found the little mini, and we're going to give it a shot. And it's the full meow. I mean, it's not going to be a different product than what you're going to find in the bigger bottle. It's just the exact same thing in a smaller bottle. So you don't have to worry about it being a lower quality or diluted or anything like that. Or for that matter, it's not like it's concentrated like dish soap or something. It's going to be the exact same thing as what you're going to find in the bigger bottle. You just only get like a dram of it, and that's it. So so here we go. This is Bird Dog blended whiskey. It's an 80 proof. It's a mini bottle for a mini Bourbcast. Isn't that cute? The different bottles that they offer from Bairdstown have the different dog on every label, on every different product that they have. So got to appreciate the bird dogs. All right. Ooh, yeah, got a nice bouquet. The ethanol is really present. But I'm getting more than anything else as soon as I start getting my nose. It's only set for a couple of minutes. I haven't even aerated it. I haven't spun it around. I haven't done anything to it. So I suppose I ought to give it just a couple more minutes and play with it a little bit. Tease it. Tease it. Na 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 na. You're gonna get it right. Not 80 proof. Not with just this little bit. Tell you what, while we're letting this sit, I'm going to tell you what else we're going to do today. I get done with this, and this is all I have of it. I don't have any more. I didn't buy a big bottle of it. So if I decide that I want another drink tonight, I'm going to reveal to you one of my go-tos. Now, everybody that drinks bourbon has got a few bourbons that they go to regularly. Sometimes it's just because it's the best thing they can find and they'll pay any amount for it. But most of the time, it's something that you can get readily. You're not going to be able to find Buffalo Trace every time you want it. You're not going to be able to find Eagle Rare or Colonel Taylor every time you want it. Sometimes it's just not going to be out there. So the one that I choose, and I'm choosing this one because I've already taken a picture of it, so you can go back through the Beautiful Bourbon page and see the picture that I took of this. But my go-to really is Bullet. I've gone to it already a little bit. Sorry. But this bourbon is readily available. It's everywhere. There's a lot of different versions of this now. There's a barrel proof. There's, I think, like a 10-year or a 15-year or 12-year or something like that. I got it over there. And then there's different blends. In Kentucky a couple of days ago when we went down and defied the order, because that's what Americans do. They defy power. I found one that was a special barrel pick just for the store that we went to. They give you different barrels and different blends and single barrels and all sorts of things. But this is my go-to, not because it's my favorite, but because it is really good. I really like it. And it's so easy to get. It's so everywhere on the shelves. You'll never not see this on a shelf somewhere. And that makes it nice. The other go-to is probably the Evan Williams single barrel vintage. That one I didn't choose as that go-to because sometimes you can't find it. It can be hard to find. There was a period of about 6 months that it wasn't on the shelves. Now you can see it most of the time, but I think one of the problems is I've been recommending it so much that it's disappearing again. And the single barrel vintage 2011 is gone. Now we're into the single barrel vintage 2012. So, it's still going to be great. And I've had the 2012 and it is great. But, that's just the evolution of time and so on. So, all right, we've let this sit for a couple of minutes. Aerate just a little bit more. The alcohol is significant. The sugars are holding onto the edge of the glass. That took the nose down a little bit, letting it sit for a couple minutes and letting it play. The ethanol was really strong on the nose the first time, and I wasn't getting a whole lot else. This is nutty. I'm getting hazelnut and a fruit of some sort. Could be. That's a tough one. Maybe plum is a fruit. It's a darker fruit, but not like totally dark, like a prune or like a date. It's not that dark. The nuttiness is really coming out. I'm going to say that this has got a pretty high rye content. It seems kind of spicy compared to the sweeter flavor of a bourbon that's going to have 51% corn or more. So that would be my guess out of this. It is a blended whiskey, not a bourbon. So the ethanol smell is still really strong on this, considering it's only 80 proof. I mean, the sip is going to reveal a lot about this, but it's very ethanol forward. Now, that could be the glass. Sometimes, we've talked about these glasses, how the flute can concentrate the aroma and bring that into your nose. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that's not a good thing. If all it's bringing up is the ethanol and it's not able to aerate and give you what you want, sometimes you might want to think about using a wider glass. So we'll do that when we put the ice in it. But for now, we're just going to stick with what we got. See, now that time I got vanilla out of it. It's still nutty, but I definitely got a vanilla scent out of that one. So vanilla, hazelnut, plum maybe. It's a very unusual bouquet, and of course the strong alcohol smell. The more it sits, the more vanilla I get. Now it's unmistakable. The more I twirl it, the more I let it do its thing, the more it opens up. The vanilla really comes out. Oh yeah, even more. This has got some character. For only 80 proof, this has got some character to it. Yeah. All right, let's go. Heavy vanilla. Very heavy vanilla. Lots of vanilla on the palate. The first thing I thought when I took a drink of this is, yuck. It's buttery. It's got a butter feel to it and a butter flavor to it. That could be that hazelnut that I caught before. Maybe it's not hazelnut. Maybe it's butter. The vanilla is strong on the palate. Very strong on the palate. Hazelnut is still coming through. That butter, chewy. In butterscotch. This is sweet. I don't like this. Yeah, no, I don't like this. This is the Bird Dog blended whiskey. They do make bourbons. I found this and thought I'd give it a try. It's not so bad that I would dump it down the drain. I've had worse whiskeys. I don't like this one. Yeah, I don't like this. And the more I drink it, the less I like it. So let's give it the treatment. Stick it in there. Grab our magic ice ball. It's going to splash all over me if I'm not careful. Remember how last week it splashed all over me? Just spin it around a little bit and let it cool this stuff off. There's not much in there because I didn't get a big bottle, and I'm glad I didn't. What could you do with this? If you wanted to mix it with something, you could. It might be all right with like a ginger ale. I can see it mixing with like a darker thing, like a Kahlua. No, I take that back. No, don't do that. I can see it going with like a 7-Up or a ginger ale. If you're just looking for a light drink and you want it to be kind of sweet, that would be something you could do. It's not good meat. Yeah. It's a blended whiskey, so I don't know if there's any sugar put into it of any sort. The finish on drinking it neat is interesting because it's not intolerable. The finish is like maple syrup. As it sits there, as I wait, and it dissipates and it goes away, what I'm left with is maple syrup. So maybe I'll pour this on a hamburger tomorrow while it's cooking, because I've been putting maple syrup on my burgers and on my sausage for breakfast. I would pour it on my, but it's, so. Yeah, I mean, maple syrup is definitely the predominant lingering finish that I'm getting off of it, which I like maple syrup. So it's not completely irredeemable. All right, over ice. Over ice, it's not as bad. You cool it down, and those vanillas really pop. The maple really pops. The hazelnut's still there. The fruit's gone, which probably isn't such a bad thing. But yeah, it's definitely better over ice. It's more tolerable over ice. So if you want an 80 proof whiskey that you like to ice down and you want it to be kind of sweet and vanilla-y and butterscotchy and mapley, then I will tell you that Bird Dog blended whiskey is the one for you. It's not going to be very expensive because it's not very good. Better over ice. Look at that ice ball. Get this out of here. Perfectly clear. Isn't that neat? What's the big deal about clear ice? It's just a matter of elegance. You know, it's just something else to show, something else to do. When you have your home bar, you want to impress people. And sometimes you'll do that with the amount of different bourbons that you have or drinks that you have. Sometimes you'll do that with, the types of glasses that you have. Maybe you've got the bourbon glass from the Bourbon Trail. Maybe you've got, the Glencairn glasses that are predominantly used for Scotch, but they are called sniffing glasses. Maybe you've just got a highball glass or a old-fashioned glass or something like that. But maybe you've got cool lights. Maybe you've got a neat backdrop like my panels here. But some people want to impress, and I want to impress. So one of the things I like is a clear ice ball. It's elegant to me. So let's finish this up because I don't want it in my glass anymore. There you go. That is Bird Dog blended whiskey. If you're looking for, sometimes I get people that say, I want to try something sweet. There you go. There you go. I don't know what the mash bill is on it. I will tell you it's nothing like Calumet Farms. Calumet Farms is a bourbon that I really, really like. This one is a whiskey that I really, really don't. I'm glad I tried it. I'm glad I know. I'm glad it's on the record, just between you and me. But I'm not impressed. It is better over ice than it is neat, for sure. The character of it changes too much when it's neat. I like consistency, and the character of this changed a lot when it opened up. And incidentally, when I added the ice cube, it opened up even more, and I got that vanilla, and I got that sweetness, and that maple, and it's just what I got out of this. Now, you may try this and get something else, but this is what I got out of it, and I'm not in love. I am not in love. Now, let's go back to the matter at hand, because I need to do something to get Bird Dog out of my mouth. So we're going to pour my daily. This is the one that makes me happy because I can find it everywhere, and it's good. Very, very good. My friends, when they come over, this is a lot of the times what they want to drink because they know it's not going to put me out trying to find something that's difficult to find, but also that it's really good. Bourbon, Bullet Bourbon is good. They don't have the greatest company reputation, but one person in the company happens to be the owner. did some stupid stuff, potentially. But that doesn't speak to all the other good people that make this good bourbon. So Bullet is great. Bird Dog, not so much. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon.